Many girls dream like Cinderella to marry a prince and live happily ever after. But not all monarchs are as kind and friendly as Prince Hamdan. In fact, royal wives face pitfalls in their family life that they didn't realize before marriage. Sometimes their lives turn into a horror movie. At best, it ends in a divorce, and at worst, blackmail, murder, escape. What were the most scandalous breakups of Muslim monarchs? Who didn't manage to survive the separation? Subscribe to the channel and give us your likes. Let's get started. A shocking story happened to an American of Polish origin, Kasia Galenio, an ex-princess of Qatar. On June 1, 2022, she was found dead on her own house on the coast of Spain. Doctors stated an overdose of medicines. However, the relatives of the woman have a very different opinion. They are convinced that Kasia's death was arranged by her ex-husband, Prince of Qatar and billionaire Abdulaziz bin Khalifa Al Thani. Shortly before that, he was accused of raping their common daughter. According to her, he forced the girl to sleep in bed with him and fulfill his wishes. The accusation was supported by the mother, for which she could be punished. The tragedy was preceded by the long epic divorce of Kasia Galenio from Sheikh Al Thani. She demanded to retain custody of her 3 daughters born to a Qatari prince. And the story of Kasia and the Sheikh's relationship began romantically and sublimely. They met in Paris, where Kasia was on a tourist trip. After a lavish wedding, the couple lived for 20 years and had 3 children. Then the scary part began. According to Kasia, Abdulaziz began to feel a morbid attraction to his own daughters, and the woman decided to divorce. Everything ended badly. Princess of Qatar died under mysterious circumstances. Morocco's king Mohammed VI's divorce from his wife Salma has turned into a nasty scandal. If it continues, the separation may cost Mohammed not only his throne, but also his life. Evil tongues claim as if the king left the first lady because of a change in his sexual orientation. Before the divorce, he was too often seen in the company of martial arts champions, the Ezitar brothers. They received gifts from the monarch, and terrible rumors swirled around Morocco. Terrible because in Muslim countries, homosexuality is a serious crime. If it turns out to be true, Mohammed VI could be overthrown and possibly executed. This outcome is also likely because Salma is extremely popular with the people. She grew up in a simple family and in 1999 accidentally met Mohammed, who at the time was a prince. This happened at a corporate party Omnium North Africa, where Salma worked as an engineer. 3 years later, the crown prince and the Cinderella of the 21st century got married. Soon Mohammed replaced his father on the throne. Moroccans were impressed that they had such a beautiful and intelligent first lady. Her union with Mohammed seemed perfect. However, in 2019, the lawyer of the royal family publicly called Salma an ex-wife, and the whole country learned about the divorce. Now the woman is 45 years old. She lives near the royal palace to at least occasionally see her children, Prince Moulay and Princess Khadija. And her former subjects are wondering whether the rumors about the reasons for divorce are true. The divorce of Dubai's Sheikh Mohammed and Princess Haya was even more scandalous. The couple separated after 15 years of marriage. Unlike previous cases, the marriage of Mohammed and Haya was almost equal. Moreover, by the standards of aristocrats, the Jordanian princess has a higher origin. The fact is that her lineage comes from the very founder of Islam, the Prophet Muhammad. But the Sheikh of Dubai is much richer. His fortune is estimated at least $18 billion. At first, the couple lived in a happy marriage. Haya gave birth to 2 children, daughter Jalila and son Zaid. Despite the status of the youngest wife, the princess often appeared with her husband at receptions. She bathed in the rays of fame and luxury. Only for pocket expenses, she was given $1 million a month. But later, the couple began to disagree. The fact that Haya is 26 years younger than the Sheikh also had an impact. Haya feared that the monarch would take her children away from her in a divorce. She escaped to London with her son and daughter. Here the princess filed for divorce under European laws and won the case. The High Court of the British capital obliged Mohammed to pay his ex-wife $730 million. Now Haya continues to live in London, but fears the revenge of the Dubai ruler. The woman and children are guarded by a team of security guards. Spanish beauty Cristina Estrada has also benefited seriously from the divorce. In a litigation against Saudi Arabian Sheikh Walid Juffali, she sued her ex-husband for $75 million. The model married an Arabian rich man. She was 7 years younger than the sheikh. They had a daughter, Serena. The couple lived happily for 13 years, and then Walid fell in love with Lebanese supermodel Lujana Dada. By that time, the sheikh was 57 years old, and the Lebanese woman was only 25. Walid divorced Cristina without her knowledge. He offered her a payoff of $7 million to avoid a scandal. But Cristina didn't agree and started a trial in London. The offended woman demanded from Walid Juffali almost 40 times the amount of $260 million. The court made a compromise decision for $75 million. In addition, the sheikh willingly returned her jewelry left in the palace. He stated that he easily gets rid of anything that reminds him of his ex-wife. Shortly after the trial of 2016, Walid Juffali died of lung cancer. Another story of a high-profile divorce. The king abdicated the throne for the sake of his beloved, but even this didn't help save the marriage. In 2017, King Muhammad V of Malaysia went on a European tour, where he fell in love with the Russian beauty Miss Moscow Oksana Voevodina. The relationship quickly came to a wedding, which was held in Moscow. For this marriage, the Sultan was heavily criticized in Malaysia. The local aristocracy refused to crown Oksana, since she is European and 24 years younger. In addition, she was accused of being a spy for the Kremlin, and that the common son with Muhammad wasn't born of him. The Sultan was so angry that in 2019 he abdicated the throne. After some time, the spouses had disagreements and they decided to divorce. In addition, the king refused to recognize their common son Leon. Oksana demanded from the ex-king to give her a London mansion worth $11 million and to pay alimony for her son Leon in the amount of $33,000 a month. She failed to sue the house, but the former monarch faithfully pays monthly alimony. Recently, new pictures of Muhammad as he leaves one of the London hotels hit the internet. A few minutes before, his son Leon came out of there. It looks like Muhammad has accepted his son, who recently turned 4 years old, after all. If the king recognizes his heir, Leon will be able to claim the throne in the future. 5 such different stories of divorce in Muslim royal families have one thing in common. After a beautiful candy bouquet period in the life of the spouses, there were insoluble contradictions. Agree that such an algorithm is no different from the relations of ordinary people. Obviously, billions and titles are not at all an insurance against failures in personal life. So, do you still dream of marrying a prince? Share in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, put a like. See you soon.